Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Wednesday Wisdom Nugget. My verse is coming from Romans 12:12. Romans 12:12 states, "Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer." I am talking about being more solutions focused versus emotions focused. Now let's go back to this verse again. It says, "Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer." Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. So to me, that verse just gave you the guidance to everything in life. When you go through trials and tribulations, be faithful in prayer is enough for me. And I say that a lot in my videos. There is no limit on prayer. So a lot of the times, especially with dealing with anxiety and OCD are definitely emotions focused. They both are also, in my opinion, about wanting control. You can't have control. Sometimes, like they say, life be lifing. You're not always going to have the control. You're not always going to know what's going to happen from day to day. And the more you surrender to God and take your hands off of it and just come to a place of acceptance and even telling him, I'm at a point in my life right now where these videos have been my therapy. These videos have kept me going. There are times I've wanted to lose my mind, and it's not anything overnight. It's years of stuff. And right now, most of my prayers have been, God, I don't understand this, but I trust you. And as soon as I say that, it's like I feel a lifting. And I'm telling you, you will lose your mind trying to understand some of the stuff that happens, some of the things that get thrown your way. And it's not just a bad day. I'm talking about people where it's not just a bad day. It's not a bad week. It's not just a bad month. This is bad years where you're sitting there and you're like, I don't even understand this. I'm doing everything right. I'm praying. I'm tithing. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm really just in the best that I've been spiritually, or trying to be spiritually with God with intention. And it's just stuff being thrown left and right. And I can't even tell you, even last week, I really thought about quitting this show, y'all, because I was like, the attacks that I've had, it wasn't really until I actually started this show consistently where I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this show no more. And I know that was just the devil. I'm going to continue this show. And that's what I want to say to someone else, just to encourage you. You have to keep going, because regardless, life is going to keep going and flowing. Whether it's a good day or a bad day, people are going to keep going. So you got to keep going. You got to keep trusting God. You got to keep having faith. And it gets hard. I'm not even going to sit up here and lie. It's more than just God will provide. Just keep praying. You're going to be all right. Some of your emotions really get the best of you. So for example, dealing with anxiety, like how I do when you're overthinking. This used to happen to me a lot, when I pretty much was just really going through financially. I would get paid. I had several jobs, okay? I've always been a hustler. I had about 2 to 3 jobs. And I would just be sitting there. I had enough to eat. I had, my rent. I had everything. But then something would happen where it would be with my car. My car would break down. And I'm like, oh, crap. Like, I didn't add that into my expenses. How am I going to deal with that? And then my anxiety would kick in. Like, okay, it's like it would be a domino effect where I would get behind on this, behind on that, behind on that. And I'm like, God, I need you. Help me, help me, help me. How do I deal with this? I don't know what to do. This is due. This is due. How do I fix this? And I'm telling you, anxiety is about wanting control. So my emotions would get the best of me. I would be crying, having anxiety attacks, sitting there like, oh my God, I gotta breathe. I'm going insane. And then just because now my car broke down, I'm mad at everything and everybody. I don't have enough food. I hate my life. And that's anxiety. It magnifies everything. The world is horrible. Everyone hates you. You don't have any friends. And that's not the truth. And solutions-based is you're looking at the facts. Emotions, when you go like that and you're crying, you're sad, and you're thinking about that every day, and you're thinking about one thing that's wrong, and you're zooming in on that, and that's your life. Have you noticed that's always going to be reflective of your life every day? And when you wake up every day with intention and looking at the facts, and I've also been learning that from therapy, look at the facts and the solutions. And you're like, you know what? This is not as bad as what I'm making it. Your car broke down, or whatever that situation is, or whatever, that dark cloud that's over you is. It does not mean that you have a bad life. God still reigns on the throne. God is still a great God. Why do we question God, and why is God such a bad God when things are not going great in our life? But when things are going great in our life, oh, God is wonderful. He's awesome. He's marvelous. And that's what God used to have to tell me. You praised me. You prayed to me when things were going great, but now that things are not going your way, I'm not that great of a God. No, he's still a good God. He's still the same yesterday, today, tomorrow, regardless of what happens in your life. You have to look at the facts. And what I'm learning now is looking at the facts and being more solutions-based and striving to be more solutions-based. It's looking at, can I control this? Yes or no? If I can control this, okay, what can I do to fix it? Let's start the goals. A, B, C, D. If I can't control it, if the answer is no, let it go. I can't control it. And there are some things in life you cannot control. And I'm telling you, the only way to get through it is to either come to a place of acceptance or to change your attitude and your emotions or your perspective about it. And acceptance is really surrendering to God's will. Even if it feels uncomfortable, even if you hate it, just take your hands off of it. And that is the hardest thing ever. I'm not perfect in any means. There are some days I still go back. I'm like, you know what? I'm mad at God. But God is going to be God yesterday, today, and tomorrow. He doesn't care about your emotions. He is spiritually driven and focused. So if we want to be more like him, take your emotions out of the equation and how you feel with flesh, like I'm angry. And a lot of things in life also you're not going to understand until you get out of it. And to me, life is not understood until it's backwards. It's not understood forward or going through. When you get out of it, you're like, oh. And sometimes things, I hate this too in the Christian body, but sometimes things have to get worse to get better. It sucks. But that's when we all have to lean on each other, depend on each other. And you can't allow pride and, oh no, you want to keep a certain image and pride to not open up. We are all here to lean on each other and make sure you're leaning on the right people. But you can't sit up and go through things yourself. And that's what I'm learning too. And thinking nobody wants to hear about my problems. No one cares. Yes, they do. There are people who do care. There are still people who do care about you. So you do have to just keep going. Even when it hurts, even if you have to go cry in the bathroom every now and then. And I've been there. I'm there right now. I'm not even going to lie anymore. I'm in this season and it's tough. It's hard. But sometimes all you have is you and God. And that sometimes that's all you need to go to the next level and the next step. And look at it this way. You have nowhere to go but up. God bless. And like I said, look at the truth. God's truth is in his word. Be more solutions-based instead of emotions-based. Look at the facts. Can you control it? I can't control it. You can't control it. Let it go. And I know that people are like, man, that's easy to say. That's easy. You don't know what I'm dealing with. You don't know what I'm dealing with. But I'm still waking up and I'm like, you know what? This is not going to take me out. Let's keep going. God, help me through this. God bless. That's the prayer you got to pray. Bye-bye, y'all.